The near-daily unrest in Venezuela has culminated once again in the death of a protester. Demonstrations turned violent on Thursday as opposition supporters came under a hail of rubber bullets during their assault on an airbase. Soldiers fired from near point-blank range as protesters attacked the fence outside La Carlota airbase in the wealthy east end of Caracas. A 22-year-old man named as David Jose Vallanilla died at a nearby hospital as a result of the injuries he sustained during the protest. His death brings the total number killed during the riotous demonstrations that have ravaged Venezuela since the unrest began in April to 76. Hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans have taken to the streets to protest against the clampdown on the opposition, shortages of food and medicine, and President Nicolas Maduro's plan to overhaul the constitution. Maduro says the violence is part of a foreign-led plot to oust him. President Donald Trump has said there are no secret recordings of his interactions with sacked FBI boss James Comey, despite earlier hints that tapes do exist. On Thursday, the day before the US leader would have been required to hand over any such recordings to Congress, Trump tweeted that he did not make, nor did he possess.
The investigation into the attempted terror attack in Brussels on Tuesday is ongoing, but initial indications are that the bomb suspect was not on a terror watch list. The man, a 36-year-old of Moroccan origin, was known to police for drug offences. He died of his injuries after being shot by Belgian military officers. Claude Moniquet is an expert on terrorism. We were very lucky because the problem is when you arrive at the last line of defence, physical security on the street, we can't protect everything. We can't protect all the schools, all the churches, all the public places. So there's a choice to be made. The military presence has an objective effect since it's the military officers who were able to reduce the threat, having neutralised the terrorist once he'd been spotted. The suspected terrorist lived in Molenbeek, a neighbourhood that's been under the microscope for its links to previous terror plots. Françoise Schepmans is the mayor of Molenbeek. We have more than 20,000 families today. It's important to know who lives in Molenbeek, where and under what conditions. We've also checked all non-profit associations located here. There were more than 1,800 of them. We've nevertheless listed a number of associations that were linked to criminality or to radicalisation. Authorities in Belgium say the country remains on the second highest level of terror alert.
The Grenfell Tower fire started in a fridge freezer, according to the Metropolitan Police, as investigations continue into the blaze that destroyed 151 homes and claimed the lives of 79 people. Forensic tests have revealed that the insulation samples and cladding tiles combusted soon after the examination started.
We are concerned about the fridge freezer in this matter, and we have been working with the Department of Energy, Business and Industrial Strategy, who are working with Hotpoint on the safety of that fridge. We know this fire wasn't started deliberately, and we know that the fridge freezer in this matter has never been subject to a product recall before. Further tests are ongoing onto that fridge.
The repercussions of the Grenfell tragedy are being felt across the country. 11 buildings have now been identified as having flammable cladding. Structures in Manchester, Plymouth and London have been earmarked as at risk. The hotel chain Premier Inn said it had concerns about the material on some of its buildings.
US Senate Republicans have unveiled legislation to replace Obamacare, but the bill's fate was quickly thrown into question as several senators voiced skepticism. 4 conservative lawmakers said they won't back the Affordable Health Care Act as it stands, claiming it doesn't sufficiently reduce the government's role. The US president's latest tweet suggests changes are in store. Democrats immediately attacked the bill as a giveaway to the rich that will leave millions without health cover.
Senate Republicans with this bill are proposing to defund Planned Parenthood, to drastically slash Medicaid, which helps middle-class families with loved ones in a nursing home, and sends those dollars to the very richest people in America.
The wrangling is set to continue with the bill's real-world impact unknown, but the non-partisan Congressional Budget Office is expected to provide an estimate early next week.
No cuts to Medicaid! No cuts to Medicaid!
Carabinieri police in Rome have seized assets worth about €280 million in a major anti-mafia operation. 23 suspects are accused of belonging to gangs involved in criminal activity such as extortion, loan sharking, money laundering and fraud. Some 46 entertainment venues popular with VIPs around Rome have been raided. Officers have also seized assets from bars, restaurants and arcades. During the country's economic downturn, upmarket eateries have been increasingly targeted by mafia gangs as an easy way to launder money. Also in Rome, the so-called mafia capital case is due to be concluded next month. MPs, bureaucrats and businessmen are alleged to have worked with mobsters to rig public tenders on everything from creating refugee centres to rubbish collection.
Russia has launched a series of cruise missiles at so-called Islamic State targets in Syria. The ordnance was fired from the Admiral Essen frigate and the Krasnodar submarine from the Mediterranean Sea to IS positions in Palmyra. The strikes destroyed command posts and weapon and ammunition stores, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Russia is seeking agreement with Turkey and Iran to establish 4 security enclaves to bring about an end to the 6-year war.
In an effort to stay cool, a group of British students have defied their school dress code as well as gender norms by wearing skirts to protest a rule against shorts.
My son personally is coming home very, very hot kind of thing. So, and he's struggling at school and I think he's quite irritable and stuff like that. So I think in terms of they should be able to wear shorts if they want to. I don't see why that should be a problem. So I think in terms of them wearing skirts, because that's what they're allowed to wear, I think it's great.
We're allowed to wear skirts all year round and then they get cold legs and we have to sit there sweating.
I think it's good. If they can't wear shorts then they have to wear skirts. I don't think it's like them being told off for having hairy legs though.
With Wednesday marking the hottest June day for decades in Britain, these boys aren't skirting the issue.
Il nostro passo poi in spazio commerciale e ora non sta back e deporte con nostro collega Carl Reuter.
Diamond Scrap, situat net banda de supermercat.